I like to know people are real. I hate thinking, oh, this is a fucking sock account. This is going to be Barco again. You know, I don't know why people have to do that. Just unless they're banned, then they create a sock account to get back in. And once you do that a few times and you keep getting banned, why go to that show anymore? You know, I don't want people at my show that aren't at least going to stay neutral. If they're going to be negative the whole time toward me, what the fuck is the point? Why would you be here? You know, I know just about all of my weaknesses, and for the weaknesses I need help identifying, I only talk to trusted friends and family. But believe me, I have no illusions about what my weaknesses are. So I don't need you to come in and criticize me and criticize me and criticize me and me just say, okay, now if I was like Mr. White, I could say, yeah, you're right. So all that's wrong with me. Sure. Let's move on. And maybe I'll get that way someday. I think if I could push a button right now, I would get that way. But I'd still keep my in-person, don't fuck with me persona, because that has served me well as far as I can tell. It serves the people I'm around well, because I don't let anybody I'm with get messed with. It's a weird thing. I'm very protective of the groups I'm around. It's a very strange thing. I might not even barely know these people, or let me rephrase that. I may barely know these people, and I'll still be protective of them because I identify immediately with that group. Like, this is my group, you know. I will play defender for this group. It's weird. It's a team. I've always been a team thinker. It's weird. But who is my team in the world right now? I got to say the USA. I mean, if there's one group of people I would try to protect over another group, it would be my fellow countrymen and women. Maybe that doesn't even make sense. You know, RD says nationalism and patriotism is a joke. And somebody said it's the last refuge of something, of a scoundrel. I don't know, Thomas Paine or somebody. I don't believe that. I believe you should, if you don't feel like defending your country or that you love your country, go find a country you do love. There's got to be one out there for you. What is it, 250 countries, 260 countries out there? Go find one you like. I don't know. That's just a suggestion. Let's see what these folks are saying in chat. Guy says he checked. He cheated. Fuck that. I can't read that. Kevin, how do you keep your pubes? How do you keep your pubes, brah? Mano to mano. Oh, I don't mind talking about that. I keep my stuff trimmed. Depending on what's going on in my life, I will go for the shave of the big balls, or I may let the hair grow on those. But that can become a scary spectacle, indeed. I mean, it can look very much like a cannonball with porcupines pasted all over. It depends. I mean, I'm creative that way. I can kind of come up with scenarios to relay to you the ferocity of the anomaly of the look of my balls when they're hairy. Now, if I were creative, really creative, I'd probably braid and dye the hair. Let's have some fun with this. Goldilocks? No. Goldicocks. That's what I've got. I'm going to braid the hair. I'm going to do a French braid on my balls. And with the pubic hair up above, I'm going Buster Poindexter or a mohawk. No, everybody does mohawk. Let's go with, how about a big afro? And, you know, make it round, too. Like, oh, look, it's the Superdome. No, it's Kev's pubes. Don't look at that. Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, I keep things trim because, you know, I learned on Sex and the City that if a guy keeps himself trim, he looks bigger, which is great. You know, I like all the bonus footage I can get. As far as the balls go, guy doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't either, man. Yeah, if that's what I hope that was your question, Stabby, unless I misinterpreted it. Yeah, I keep my pubes trim. Why wouldn't I? Doesn't every man? Who doesn't shave their shit, man? Tell me. I want to know in the chat room. How many of you guys let that shit go fucking Yosemite Sam down there? I was looking at my demographics the other day. Girls don't come to my show. Yeah, they don't. They never have. And if you look at the demographics, about 80-something% of my listeners are between 35 and 44-year-old males. Yeah, so I guess you know, whatever. That's fine with me. It's a little disturbing because I would like women to feel more comfortable here, but I guess they just don't. I don't know. They're probably afraid that my sexiness will overcome them and they'll lose control. I could understand that. That'd be a good reason to stay away. Other than that, I couldn't imagine. Yeah. No, I grew up with 4 sisters, and I'm generally kind to people. But I think that kindness works the opposite way too for assholes. I want to go after assholes. But it doesn't make the world a better place, I don't think. It just makes the asshole more of an asshole. Well, first they're scared, and then once they run and reestablish their new hideout, now they're strong again. It's an amazing thing how it works. In some ways, I do wish we were back in the caveman days, or at least the Wild West. I don't know. Looking for jackhammer. Yeah, I understand. Try not being so creepy. All right, I'll try not being so creepy. One snitch Jew says he lets his grow wild. I guess, I mean, I wonder why men do what they. It may come down to age. It may come down to sexual activity. Like if you rarely ever have sex, maybe you're not worried about it. I don't know. It may be like a woman shaving her legs. I mean, I know some older women that have given up on shaving their legs. And wow, what a thing. I mean, I heard a rumor that the Italian girls were known to let hair grow on their legs and under their arms. I don't know if that's true or not. That may just be one of those old wives' tales, but get it, old wives? If it is true, that's not attractive. Hair is masculine by nature, except for hair on top of the head. That can be very feminine if it's nice and shiny. Well, that's my Americanized view of it. But as I said last show, the studies have shown that height in America, in fact in the West, is highly preferred over not enough height. But the studies have shown that in the East, height isn't such a big deal, which is strange because I thought that was a uniquely and universally human characteristic for women to want to mate with taller men. But apparently it is not. Not everywhere. Don't know about that. I don't know what to think about that. I'm going to have to look into the details more. See, that caveman stuff is what keeps the ladies here. Yeah, that's what it is. Last year, 49-year-old woman, she had a bush. Now, was this bush something that scared you, Mr. White? Was it a clean bush? You know clean. I mean, you can smell clean. You can almost see it. You guys may have heard in the news today there was a girl who got a major infection on her wrist from wearing a hairband. You know, a lot of girls wear hairbands on their wrist. And this news kind of pissed me off. And if you look at the comment, if you go on Facebook and look up this story and look at the comments, people are saying what I was thinking, which was, oh, so one girl gets an infection because she had nasty fucking hair and didn't clean herself, and the hairband she was wearing around her wrist got under her skin and caused this bacterial infection. You're going to tell everybody, and that's what the article said, don't wear hairbands around your wrist, because we've had one case out of 500 million. You know, it bugs me because I make paracord bracelets, and I don't want people starting to think that you can't wear bracelets because it's going to get you infected with something. All you got to do is keep yourself clean and keep the fucking bracelets clean. It's not that hard. You know, anything that cuts into your circulation that's not perfectly clean is potentially a threat. So why are you hating on bracelets? Why don't you hate on rings? Why don't you hate on condoms? Especially those lambskin fucking things. I say if you're going to make a lambskin condom, leave the wool on. Let's go full scale here. Yeah, woolly cock time. Here comes the woolly cock. Landing strip, please. Guy would like a landing strip. Not scary at all. She was hot. Good, Mr. White. I'm glad, because let me tell you something, and I have a friend that feels very strongly about this. Women, since you're not listening, if you do decide to listen to this later, please clean yourself and do it well. And we actually appreciate the douche if you'll do that. I know some of you think, oh, it's not natural. I need my natural juices everywhere. No, go artificial for us, just for that moment, right before we're going to be down there. Yeah, you want to douche that. Summer's Eve, get a nice, light, happy rain smell, or you don't want to go strong, like smell like apple cider, because that's going to fuck with our head a little bit. We'll forget, are we drinking? Are we eating? What are we doing? So, but cleanliness, no smell at all is fine, but a nice little spring rain smell, oh, on a soft meadow field, there it is. There it is. This is what men like. We like clean. Now, there may be some odd grouping of men out there, the ones that like black midgets from Nigeria, who decide that they want the filthy snatch. Now, you motherfuckers are dirty. You men need to be beaten with a sledgehammer. How are you going to eat the filthy snatch? When you do that, you reinforce the woman's lack of what? I'm going to let you guys fill in the blank there. All right, I got Mr. White laughing. Pop-Tarts are hot. Pop farts? That would, I don't know. Would you guys like that? Now, I've tried some of the various flavored gels on women, but let's say they used a strawberry frosted Pop-Tart douche. Now, I would again be confused, as I am when I smoke these e-cigarettes. You know, I've got, right now I've got caramel, and coming in I have caramel cream, which is supposed to be better. And I get my shit from Mad Vapes. I don't know why. It's like one of millions of vape stores. But, you know, once you get comfortable with a site, you kind of go to them. So I've got caramel cream coming in. And I used to order from this lady called Mrs. T. And she still has a thing. And she makes e-liquid. And she made French toast. Now, she went on later and screwed it up, added a bunch of maple flavoring to it. Now I don't like it at all. But I'm telling you, this vape liquid tasted exactly like delicious French toast with syrup. And I loved it, but it did confuse me because as soon as I would start vaping, I'd get hungry. And I was thinking, this can't be good. I'm trying to replace smoking with vaping, but now I want to go eat 67 and a half pieces of French toast. That can't be good. Yeah. So I don't know if any of you have had Pop-Tart flavored vagina. I'd like to hear a little bit about that. If you've had oddly flavored vagina, such as burning tires or wet dog smell or maybe even old man's neck, let's hear about that too. What was it like? Were you able to get past the smell? Did your senses get inundated and then become used to it so it didn't matter anymore? Kind of like people with a stinky house that don't know they have a stinky house till they leave and come back. Yeah, you got a stinky house. There it is. I had a friend when I was a kid. He wasn't a close friend, so I can say this. And his family must have burnt omelets every day. And I don't know what the fuck I was smelling. Maybe it was his mom. But my fucking Jesus Christ to the goddamn dick-ass cunt bitch. I mean, oh, you wouldn't believe the smell. Burnt omelet all the time. Strong burnt omelet. Like, fucking take your eggs out of the skillet sooner, bitches. Is it that hard? Oh, I hated the smell. Having said that, I love eggs. Have you guys ever thought about what would happen in a world disaster? Me and a friend were talking about that recently. We were looking at motorhomes and trying to figure out which ones would be the most useful in a total disaster situation. You know, you're going to run out of gas. You're not going to have any gas left. So you're going to need, you know, form and function. Solar panels, ideally, you know, ways to process water and raise your little gardens and all that. I think about that sometimes. I'm not like to the level of a prepper because I just don't see that coming right now, even though there's some scary shit coming down the pipeline. But do you wonder what you would do if you wanted to survive out in the wilderness if there were a global disaster that destroyed essentially all delivery routes of any type? Because we're dead without delivery right now for groceries and just about everything. That's why you should buy local and keep it local and grow local. That way, if something happens, you keep on going. But that's not what we do right now. So if something disastrous happens, we're going to be in some serious trouble. I wonder who would make it. I wonder who listening to this right now will go out in the wilderness and make it. Who would want to? Would you want to live with 3/4 of the world's population gone? I don't know. If all my family and friends were gone, yeah, I'd probably go ahead and off myself. I don't want to. That's too much sadness to carry around for no real reason. Yeah, I'd probably go ahead and pop a cap. I would just want to die. I don't want to live in a world with no stuff. Pop-Tarts are hot. I had a blow that tasted like diesel once. I wonder why that was, guy. I'll bet you that the guy that had it in a baggie or whatever probably was like a mechanic or either spilled gas on himself or something because he was all high and fucked up, and that got down into it. That must have sucked ass, man. That must have sucked true ass. Oh, have you ever had a stale cigarette? I mean, a truly stale cigarette? I'll never forget the day. I was in my sister's car. She was taking me somewhere. I was about 13 years old, and I tried one of these cigarettes, and it was a stale, funky-ass cigarette that had been in there probably 9 months. And the taste of it stayed with you. It was, I don't know how to explain it.